Oh, and this is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome into a live Sunday episode of Coach and Company here on our YouTube page. And as you're coming in, do me a couple of favors if you don't mind. Hit that like button. It really helps the show grow. And also, if you have not subscribed to our Coach and Company YouTube page, do it right now, please. It also helps the show grow. Now, some of you like to watch on social media. You can do that as well. We're on the Twitter and we're working on our Instagram. That should be up in the next couple of days. Now, today's a busy, busy day in the world of sport. Already kicked off in Dublin, Ireland. The Minnesota Vikings, a lot happened in the first quarter. The Steelers are up 7-3, but how we got there, very, very exciting. The Vikings fumble, and Jalen Ramsey takes it back to the house for a touchdown. Wait a second. Out of bounds. So they call it back. Vikings kick a field goal, and then Aaron Rodgers takes the Steelers right down the field. So it's 7-3 with 50 seconds to go. We'll give you live updates throughout the show and maybe a little bit of live betting for my guy, Rafael. Also today, the final day of the Ryder Cup. It has been a Team Europe annihilation. 11.5 to 4.5. All that Team Europe needs to do today is win 3 matches out of the 12. This thing is over. It's been embarrassing for Team USA, but some of the best golf I've ever seen played in my life has happened the last 2 days at the Ryder Cup. WNBA playoffs today, also the final day of Major League Baseball. So nobody, and I mean literally nobody, is paying attention to Major League Baseball today, because why would you? It'd almost be like if you're playing fantasy or something. I mean, who would do that? All right. So we've got best bets from us. We've got best bets from the crew. And it's time to get after it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's beat the books. All righty. Look who I've got today as I watch Jordan Addison catch a nice over the shoulder as the first quarter comes to an end in Dublin, Ireland. Ladies and gentlemen, look who I have this morning and every single Sunday morning during the NFL season. Now, I feel like on some level that maybe I just insulted somebody and I don't feel good about it. So I want to publicly apologize before we even get started. Mikey P from Sure Dog USA. What are you going to be doing today, sir, in addition to your NFL plays?
I don't know that I have enough screens in this household. Usually I would say like a palace, but that's definitely not where I live. With fantasy baseball, I'm up 3 points in the final day of the regular season. Big money on the line, so I'll be watching as much baseball. I've got 2 starters on the mound for this matchup. So yeah.
I could have swore I thought my Wi-Fi I could have swore you said fantasy baseball.
Oh, we're burying the lead, coach. It's not just a Sunday morning game, and it's on me. I messed up. I sent it to producer man, and I didn't send it to you. We had quite the story happen in Dublin on Friday night. Did you see what happened?
No, what happened? What happened?
Steelers backup quarterback Skylar Thompson was mugged and robbed on Friday night in Dublin. I think they may have misunderstood. Steelers, they're a football team.
And he went to Kansas State. That's like my school, circa my point guard went to Kansas State. Skylar Thompson, my goodness. No wonder Aaron Rodgers is complaining about not going over there until Thursday. He was like, I want to be here all week. I thought when Aaron Rodgers complained because he didn't want to go over to like Saturday. He wanted to go over 4 days earlier. Skylar Thompson, not so much. Sorry, big dog. Sorry. Now, this man is our numbers guy for a reason. And on Sunday mornings, as the numbers have been changing throughout the week, we need him more than ever. Say good morning to Rafael Esparza. Good morning, Rafael.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, Mikey. Good morning, family. It should be a great Sunday. Live betting I'm looking this live betting the Steeler game. It's 43.5 right now. The total closed at 41.5. I have a play on the total, so I'm looking for a middle all through the show. So you might be seeing me maybe laying down a bet. But Coach, I get a lot of text messages, and I just got 4 sportsbooks' biggest needs today.
Okay.
Just
What
got
are
the
they?
text. Chargers minus 6.5.
Okay.
Jaguars +3.
Okay.
Eagles -3. Packers minus 6.5, which Dallas money's been flooding in all day and yesterday. And then Packers Cowboys, of course, the under.
Wow. So those are the 5 things that are needed by the books. Interesting that people are on the Bucks today.
Yes.
And people are on the 49ers today.
Brock
according to
Purdy's
that.
coming back.
Oh, that's right. He is coming back. He'll be somewhat healthy today. All right. Keep those updates coming, Raphael, as they come in, as always. All right, gentlemen. So, shockingly, we put out an email to the whole crew and said, hey, if you want to put in some best bets, feel free. Almost everybody did it. Almost like a class project. Only a bunch of check marks in the process. So we're going to do our best bets first. We'll do the crew's best bets. Then we're going to break down 6 of the biggest games today that maybe you weren't maybe looking at and some that you absolutely are. And then we'll end with Sunday Night Football tonight. By the way, Mikey, my son has the club championship, the junior club. So I can't work tonight. Are you still going to be live at 7:30 tonight?
Live. I will be here. We're going before Cowboys Packers, after Bears Raiders, after Chiefs Ravens. Let's go right here. Put your alert notifications on.
Turn on those notifications, baby. You know it. All right. Can't wait for that show. Maybe I'll watch it from the golf course when he's on hole 15, 2 under par. Who knows? There's 2 other players, by the way, at our club that are he's in the 18 and under. He's 15. They are ranked in the top 15 in the country that he's playing against today. Top 15 in the country. We'll see how he does. All right, let's get into our best bets because I have a really good feeling about today. So, Raphael, I'm going to start with you. Where are you headed today?
First one, we're going Eagles Bucks over 44 at -110. Eagles averaging 25.6 points a game, and the Bucks are averaging 24. Why am I picking this over? Because the best quarterback in the league is on the field, and it's not the Eagles quarterback. Give me Baker Mayfield. He's going to be throwing all over the field. He's got some happy wide receivers that are healthy. I think he has a big game. I think this one flies over. Bucks last 6 games against teams with winning records. 5 of them have blown over the total. We're talking 17 points or more over the total. So I think this one flies over at 44. And then give me the Ravens -2.5. I'm just playing the number right here because if the Chiefs score first, this number is going to be completely lopsided to like 3.5 Kansas City, and that can look for a middle spot. The reason why the Ravens are -2.5 because they're playing Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. If this was any other team, the Ravens would be almost 5-point favorites, but they're playing Kansas City. I'm playing the number right here. And let's face it, Kansas City has not looked well as of late, so I'll take the 2.5. And then Mikey's on the show, and I really was impressed with his quarterback last week. So give me Caleb Williams over 225 passing yards. The Raiders passing D sucks. They're ranked 24 in the league. 237 passing yards per game they're giving up. I think Caleb Williams torches that secondary. I think the Bears actually win in Vegas as well.
Wow. Mikey, he's giving you a little Raphael stamp of approval today. Is that game in Chicago or is it in Vegas?
It's in Las Vegas.
It's in Vegas.
They're expecting more Bears fans there than Raider fans.
Isn't that funny? You see all these different games. I saw a couple of games yesterday. I can't remember which ones they were. But you knew it sounded like a home game for the away team because they buy up all the tickets, just like Chicago. I'm assuming that the team probably did a travel thing because teams like to do that now. They'll do 1 or 2 games that are destinations and sells packages. I'm assuming this is one of those games. It's got to be. It's got to be one of those games. All right. Great start, except by the Ravens -2.5. I feel a little bit weird that you don't think the Ravens are going to cover. You're just playing so you can play 2 different bets. Is how you just said it to me.
Yeah, because I think if Kansas City can score for, let's face it, the Ravens defense has not impressed me at all. So if I can get a Chiefs touchdown right away, then I'm looking to cash 2 tickets instead of 1. And what would you rather do? Cash 2 tickets or cash 1 ticket?
I'm going to leave that alone for a second because me and Mikey are on the right side of said number. I'll go next since it flows right into my argument against you, Rafi. And I like Chief. You're going to give me 3 points at home. I bought a half point up to -125. It's different juice at different books. But I think the Chiefs, they get Xavier Worthy back today. I think we're going to get back to being healthy. Rashee Rice is still a couple of games away from getting off that suspension, but at home, backs against the wall. This is when the greatness of number 15 comes out. I think the Chiefs win it on the field, but I need the 3 just for a little bit of insurance. I don't have the guts that Mikey P has, clearly. Then I said it last week that I'm going to play Cam Scatabo and his numbers until the wheels fall off. So he went over 50 on the ground. He went over 50 in the air last week, but I don't know which one's going to be bigger. So what do? You play both together. His number is 78.5. This dude is a beast. He doesn't care if they're 0-15. He's still going to go out there and play hard. So I love this number at minus 110. Then Lions team total. Browns defense has looked pretty good, and they just beat the Packers. That's the only reason I didn't lay the 10. I think Detroit goes out. They looked amazing last week on offense. I think they can at least get to 28. I have no clue what the Browns are going to do. So all I care about is the Lions scoring today. Those are my 3 best bets. Mikey P, you got 4. Let's go.
Let's say it's together, Coach. Synergy. We got double synergy on my picks today because I am rolling with the Chiefs on the money line because I do have the guts to take number 15, Patrick Mahomes, in the biggest game this early in a season for him in quite some time. The Ravens are kind of free-falling. And by the way, if the Ravens get up by 10 or more points, guess what? I like the Chiefs even more because Jim Harbaugh knows how to blow those leads. So give me the Chiefs on the money line at plus 125, and then the Falcons minus 2. I know people are probably saying you keep riding with the Falcons because I believe in them. Maybe it's a little ode to Zeno. I'm not sure, but Michael Penix has to get right. And the Commanders coming off a win with Marcus Mariota over the Raiders. I do think the Falcons are a better team than the Raiders. And Zach Robinson, the OC, will be on the field to kind of get right with Michael Penix. I think that's a good move. I think we'll see them prevail. And then 2 player picks for you. Going along with that synergy with Coach, he's got Cam Scatabo. If he needs Cam on receiving yards, guess he's got to throw him. Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
Over 194.5 passing yards in his NFL debut. I believe the Giants are going to be down a lot in this game. So what do? You throw the ball. And then Baker Mayfield, the biggest cojones in the NFL, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. They don't give up a lot, but neither does Baker Mayfield. So give me Baker Mayfield over 1.5 passing touchdowns at a plus 120. Got 2 plus plays for you. Got 2 minus plays for you. Let's go.
As you were giving us your best bets, DK Metcalf was going bananas. How about an 80-yard touchdown from Aaron Rodgers? So in the first quarter and 2.5 minutes, DK Metcalf, what do you think their game plan was this week, boys? 4 catches, 122 yards, and a 14-3 lead. Aaron Rodgers out of the gates. He likes Ireland very, very much. 9 for 9, 145 yards, and that touchdown to DK Metcalf. So right now, the Steelers, after falling behind 3-0, they're up 14-3 as they play in the second quarter. All right, as we mentioned, we have a lot more best bets for you today. The crew hooked us up, so we're going to hit them, and then we're going to have a little reaction to them. And you know what? If we have to criticize, boys, we have to criticize. It is what it is. All right. DG shockingly sent in 3 kicker props today. One is Matt Prater of the Bills just to hit more than 1.5. So I guess hit 2 against the Saints. I think we can do that, Raphael. Yeah, because the Saints what?
Suck. But the number's coming down. It's one book just moved it to 14 about 2 minutes ago.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's a big deal because 3, 7, 10, 14, those are the main numbers. All right. Cameron Dicker over 7.5 kicking points. Pretty self-explanatory. Spencer Schrader over 6.5 kicking points. Self-explanatory. Now, Soupy is also riding Cam Scatabo, 14.5 rush attempts. Mikey P, real quick on that one. I was a little bit hesitant when I saw that one today because he's a guy that, depending on the opponent, I don't know if he's going to get to 14, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a big concern for me is because the Chargers are that good. You know Harbaugh's going to try to take him away and make the Giants one-dimensional. He's going to say, hey, Jackson Dart, welcome to the NFL. You've got to beat me, not Cam Scatterbo. And I hate to say this because I love it. And I know so many football fans and fantasy players and bettors love the way Cam Scatterbo plays, but you have to have a real reality in the back of your mind. The way he runs very violently, you don't want to see him put his head down and possibly get hurt. So it's a risky play, but you know what? Soupy's all over Scatterboo, so he believes in him for a reason.
Well, Marky Model, glad to see he takes his fandom out of his picks today, as he has the Chargers laying 6.5 on the road at the Meadowlands. We'll get into that game in a moment. Drake May of the Patriots over 219.5, minus 115. Raphael, what do you think about Drake May, who hasn't exactly gotten off to a great start?
That one's kind of tricky because Carolina's coming off a big win last week where they shut out the Falcons. Now they have to welcome New England Patriots and Drake May, which I think their offense is improving game after game. So I'm leaning towards New England and Drake May to have a big game.
Okay, that game is a 1:00 game on Fox today in New England. Big Chuck, Footy Friday, by the way, I forgot to mention it. Killed it. I think we have 2 more plays this morning. But as of last night, he was 3-0 on Footy Friday. Shocking. He loves the Falcons on the money line today, minus 135. What do you think about that, Mikey?
Well, more synergy with Big Chuck, and I'm glad we at least agree on one. He's the nicest guy in the world. He's an absolute cash register, so I love his Falcons play. You're going to have to ask Rafi about his second play because
Raiders are taking on the Bears today at home, and the Raiders have kind of been all over the place, Raphael. They certainly, with Pete Carroll and Geno, haven't looked fantastic, but they've had their moments.
This is all about if Caleb can get time to throw the ball, because we all know their passing D that the Raiders have is awful. So if they can throw the ball, look for the tight ends for the Bears that have big games. If that's the case, I just don't see the Raiders winning at home.
Okay. And that game starts at 4:25. There's only 2. The Bears-Raiders. What does this say about your Bears, by the way? You're opposite the Ravens and the Chiefs. That's going to be a really big number today, I have a feeling. Not. All right, Rams minus 3.5 today. They're at home, 4:05 against the undefeated Indianapolis Colts. We're going to get into that game as well. And then Big Tommy C. He sent me a text last night. He said, hey, put in my plays with Big Tommy C fun facts. So I don't want to take away from his fun facts. So I'm just going to read them to you right here and right now. So he loves the Lions minus the 10. I didn't have the guts. He goes, here's a Big T fun fact. The Browns have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 6 road games. Raphael, that's a good one. That's a good one. Then he is on the 49ers laying the 3. Laying the 3. The Jags have lost each of their last 11 games against teams with a winning record. And the 49ers are undefeated. So there you go. I think he's on the Bengals too. He liked the Bengals. I don't know if it's the best bet, but he likes him plus 7.5 today as well. All right, those are our best bets from the crew. Now let's get into the games. The fun part, the reason that you come to us, and the reason that you're a sports fan. We're going to start with that first game, the Browns and the Lions. And Raphael, from a numbers perspective, 10 in the NFL is a gigantic number. And the way the Browns have played, close to the vest, late comeback last week, 13-10 over the Packers. It's hard to say, but I know they'll play good defense. But their offense has been atrocious, which is why I didn't lay the 10. Big Tommy did lay the 10. Is that too scary of a number in this game?
It is. Shop around. FanDuel has 9.5. ESPN Bet has 10.5. So it's really weird where you can get 3 numbers on a pretty bad, terrible game to watch. This is all depends if Detroit's two-headed monster can run the ball. If Cleveland can shut down the run game, then what's the Lions' offense going to be? Because they rely on the run first, throw second. So if Cleveland shuts that down, we can see a very, very tight game with all those people who have Lions money line bets and survivor picks on them. They can be very tight like that.
I had one guy. There's this. I started following this account on X that exposes, bettors or guys that try to sell their picks like that. And there's this one guy, I'm not going to say his name, but he's annoying as hell. And he's always putting up these different games that he plays. He's bet 100,000, 200,000. He's in a suicide pool that's $100,000, or he claims he is, and it pays $6 million. There's like 60 players in this thing, and he was talking today about his suicide pool. It had like 5 different choices, and this was one of them. I don't believe for a second that he's in it, but it annoyed the hell out of me. Just it came across my feed, so I wanted to annoy all of you at home by telling you that story. This guy is an absolute scam artist, and if you know, you know. All right, so Mikey, let me come over to you. Laying the 10. I played the team total 27.5 because I don't know what the Browns are going to do. Do you have any confidence in their offense whatsoever?
Absolutely none. I said it last week and it didn't come to fruition, so I'm going to say it again this week. I don't know if we see Joe Flacco complete this game. I think this could be the game in which Dylan Gabriel or maybe Shador Sanders with an absolute massive bombshell quote this week. Maybe he gets in the game. Maybe Kevin Stefanski looks over and goes, oh, you're right. He really is ready for the NFL. Go up against Aiden Hutchinson. But no, I think this game, I honestly would almost fade the Lions superstars Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs. I think Rafi's right. David Montgomery could be in line for a big game. Sam Laporta could be in line for a big game. So this is one where the superstars won't have to do much, and Dan Campbell won't have to show off his cojones because you're playing the Browns.
By the way, I think I found, guys, the college version of Dan Campbell last night.
Yeah.
I played Memphis against FAU. All right, they were laying 13.5. I don't know if you guys saw this game. And then I played the team total over 37.5. This is my private thing. I may have tweeted it out. So they're down at halftime to FAU. Then they come back and score. They're up 12, but they're laying 13. So I was like, if this happens to me again, and the coach from FAU, I kid you not, 9 minutes to go in the game, 4th and 9 from his own 22, down 12. 9 minutes. He goes for it. Well, you can imagine what happened. Drop pass. And all Memphis had to do was, and they end up, I kid you not, scored 24 points in the final 9 minutes of the game last night because the head coach kept going for it on 4th down from his own like 25. It's the craziest thing. I think the final was 55-21 or something like that. But it was brutal. Dan Campbell, you've got coaches following in your footsteps. Let's freaking go.
I thought you were talking about the Oregon game because Oregon-Penn State, the broadcaster actually called him, Dan Mullen, he called him Dan Campbell because they kept going for it on 4th. He goes, I wouldn't be surprised if Dan Campbell, Dan Mullen, go for it here on 4th down. So Dan Campbell, it's no longer 4th and to go, it's Dan Campbell to go.
By the way, Dan Lanning is my new favorite coach in college football. You guys know one of my mottos is don't be too cool for school. If you're going to do something, show me you want to be there. And I don't give a damn what it is. Did you see the post-game interview with him last night? I mean, he was like floating on air. And if you guys didn't watch that game last night, it was absolutely amazing. And Oregon wins with that interception. But he's a coach that everything is right here. Emotions on his sleeve. And he gave all his players credit. Did you guys watch it? Did you see the end of it?
I didn't.
It was sick. You didn't see any of it?
No, I didn't see the interview. I had Penn State, so I turned it off.
Oh, you had Penn State. You laid what'd you lay, 4? 4?
Yeah, I believed in the whiteout. I believed in James Franklin.
Wow. So when they fumbled down 7 in the first overtime, you would have liked for them to jump on that?
Oh, it would have been nice. I think a fumble,
I'm with Mikey. I thought Penn State would win yesterday too, so I'm with Mikey right there.
That was one of the few that I had.
Franklin,
Oregon.
you suck.
Did you see the number 2-21 lifetime against top 5 teams or top 6 teams, something like that? Like, man, good thing everybody loves this dude because big games. Steelers did something. I may have an interception.
Yep.
Is it an interception?
Yep.
They're celebrating in the end zone. Yep. Carson Wentz, welcome to the show. All right, Steelers interception 14-3. What's that live number like right now, Raphael?
I think Minnesota's calling Atlanta for Kirk Cousins right now, but the live number is Pittsburgh -4.5, and the total is now 46.5 live total. So
Okay.
I wish we had commercials because I might have to place a bet or something, or call someone to put some action down for me or something.
Hey, producer man, take Ralph. You need to leave
No,
for a second.
no, I'm
Okay.
good.
All right. Let's get into game number 2. And this one, it's going to be fascinating. It is in the shadows of New York City. It is the Giants at 0-3. They beat me by a week. I said before week 1 that Jackson Dart would be the starter by week 5. I know Russell Wilson, and I know that he doesn't want to get hit. I know that it's a business decision every time he drops back, and you can't play a quarterback that way. He's out, and now he's part of trade rumors. New Orleans or a couple others that have bad quarterback play through the first 4 weeks. But this is about Jackson Dart. But Raphael, they're taking on the Chargers team that's 3-0, that has looked the part. And all 3 of their wins are division wins. That's gigantic. But now they're going on the road. They're laying 6, according to BetMGM, the total of 43.5. Do you like this number?
I like it on the defensive side. Everyone's giving Harbaugh all the credit for offense and Herbert MVP numbers, but look at the Chargers defense. And what's that defense going to do with a rookie quarterback that's going to look like Bugs Bunny eyes under his helmet with his first start? Yes, Dart is probably the big love today. And yes, the running back for the Giants, big love today in all prop bets. But I'll be scared for that Chargers defense. I wouldn't be shocked if the Chargers put a big number on New York today.
Wow. So big love. That screams t-shirt. Do you think, Mikey, that the Chargers will offensively take them behind the woodshed today?
I think offensively, yeah, the Chargers have a lot, but we have to remember Najee Harris out for the season with a torn Achilles. So I'd like to see Lad McConkey and maybe Trey Harris step up. These are 2 guys we haven't really heard much from to begin the season. It's all been Quentin Johnston in the passing game, and Justin Herbert has been doing plenty of great work on the field. But listen, Rafi, you're my guy and all, but the Giants are going to have – here's the best thing about this game. The Giants just have to show a pulse. They just have to show some signs of life so Brian Daboll can go, trust me with the kids. You got Malik Neighbors and Scatterbo, right? This is a youth movement in New York. So instead of Russell Wilson throwing it to Section 217, as long as Dart can keep it on the field, I think we're in for an entertaining game. I like the over on this one.
Hey, stop it. Do not take shots at Russell Wilson like that. It's the tunnel, not Section 217.
They're playing the Chargers. That's all I got to say.
Malik Neighbors, 64.5, -115. Do we like that number for Mr. Neighbors today? Yes, we do.
I like his targets because Dart's going to be looking at him all game long. I like his targets.
So you like his
receptions and
receptions.
Targets. Yeah.
All right. I don't know. Can you do targets?
Some books you can. Some books you can.
All right. So he's 5.5, but it's a -155 at BetMGM. I'm not going to pay 55 cents for any prop in any sport, so I wouldn't lay that. If you have a book that you can adjust yours and you want to go to 6.5, but we've realized, guys, that 6.5 is a high number to lay. It really, really is. For any receiver, 6.5 is a lot. Keenan Allen, he's had a good start. He's a 4.5. Quentin Johnston's 4.5. So I think it's going to be one of those blah days. 43.5, you guys know that's a blah total. Anything 43, 44, 45, I absolutely despise. But we'll see. Again, that's a 1 o'clock game. Chargers may get out to a slow start, the body clock thing and all that. They don't fly in, unlike Ireland. They don't fly in till the day before. Game number 3. And this is a big one. This is 2 3-0 teams, and they both had bad beats last week. If you want to look at them, the Eagles laying 4, 5, or 6, depending on your book, and they're down 1 or up 1. Block a field goal, take it back to the house to cover, and absolutely destroy any and all Rams bettors who were up 26-7 at one point in that game. That would be me. And then the Bucs, they were lining up to go up by 8, giving whatever their number was. Block field goal. Let's take it back to the house. And again, they blow the cover, but they win the game as they made NFL history as the first team to score 3 times in the final minute in their first 3 games of the season to win. They know how to play in pressure situations. Mikey, I'm going to start with you because they're getting 3.5 at home. Make this make sense?
Well, Tampa Bay's got a very good offense. And I think, one thing we're not talking about even coming into this is Mike Evans is going to be out for this game, but they'll get Chris Godwin back. They'll get their left tackle, Tristan Wirfs, back. And what does that mean? Run the ball. Baker's been running with his legs a lot to start the season. And I love Bucky Irving today. The best way to avoid all the tush-push narrative, keep Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense on the sideline. So I think the Buccaneers, and Todd Bowles is not a great coach, but Todd Bowles, if you can just keep your offense on the field, which I like them to do, I like this number, but I do like the over as well.
It's funny because it's a narrative that doesn't really make sense with the over, but it does make sense if you've watched these teams play this year. Now, I'm glad you brought up the tush push because I think it could play into the total today because all we've heard from this show and any other show that has smart people on it is they've got to start throwing the flag for false starts. There's a false start every tush push. They haven't called it yet. And I think that's going to be a factor today, Raphael, that they're going to lean more towards that than not. So if we get down to the 1 flag, we back it up 3-7 or 7-3, it could be an issue. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it could. I didn't think that's why the total dropped maybe a little bit because of the run game of Tampa Bay. And we all know Eagles love to run. Quarterback and their running backs all run the ball. Total dropped 43.5 this morning, 2 books. Will that copy and paste today with the other books? Would we see 43.5? Will we even see a 43 before this game? The one thing interests me, I hate when people say, oh, Evans is out for Tampa Bay. He's always out for Tampa Bay. It's not like they haven't played without him. I think Bucky Irvin has a big game on the ground and in the air.
I think that you're right. So maybe rushing and receiving is the combo number is the way to go. Steelers inside the 35, 3 minutes to go. 1st and 10 as they continue to dominate the Vikings.
8.5 live betting just moved to 8.5 like 2 seconds.
8.5. I wouldn't like that right now simply because they're in field goal range. If they weren't in field goal range, I might pounce on that live, but they're going to be up by at least 14 minimum in the next minute or 2. All right. Anything else on this one, guys, before we move on to game number 4? Are we good?
Yeah. I want to give more credit to the rookie who I've been sleeping on the first 3 weeks, Emeka Egbuka. I was coming into the season saying you can't trust a rookie wide receiver. This man's got rapport with Baker Mayfield. He's got an opportunity to say, welcome back, Chris Godwin, but this might be my offense when it comes to the passing game. So I like Emeka Egbuka probably on his receptions more than his yards because I want to say his yards are probably a bit more inflated.
59.5 minus 115.
Don't hate that.
You don't hate that?
I don't hate that.
Let me look real quick.
This should be the Monday Night Football game. The Jets-Dolphins game should be at this time slot, and the Eagles-Bucks should be the first Monday Night Football game.
Let's see. Pass or receptions made 4.5, but minus 165. Oh my God. These books, and I understand their whole reason for existing, Raphael, is not just to make juice. Oh, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, he fumbled right back up to a big boy. They're getting all of the breaks. Aaron Rodgers just ran the ball for about 15 yards, fumbled, and it hit right up in the air to a big boy running behind him who got another 5 yards. This is all about the Steelers today. It's all about the Steelers today. Raphael, because you do this all the time still, and I don't even know if you realize that you do it, but you talk as if you still work for the books, as if you're still standing behind the counter. Why do sports books, and the guy that from BetMGM does this on all the time, well, this is what we need. I thought they were there to take bets and then take the 10% off the top or the juice off the top. Why do you guys always act like your world's going to come to an end if the opposite team wins and you guys actually lose a little bit of money?
Because when the bosses yell at you when you lose for 15 years, you start saying we all the time. I can guarantee you that's why he's saying it, because he knows if they lose this prop bet, they lose this game, he has to explain why they lost the game. Why did they accept that big bet? That's 100% why I still say the word
And I get that part of it. I just don't understand the mindset that the sports book is against us. It's supposed to be there just to take the bets.
I agree.
Hey, we love you. Come play with us. I think that's a big issue with why people don't change sports books and they don't feel welcome a lot of the time. That's I feel that way. I don't know. Shouldn't be us against them. Should be all of us together. You take the juice.
I got yelled at for an hour after the Giants beat the Patriots in that Super Bowl. And
that makes no sense to me.
A whole hour.
That makes no sense to me. Because I know their bonuses are based off of what revenue is made. I get that. All right, game number 4. And this one, if I told you guys 5 weeks ago that the Colts would be undefeated, you'd call me crazy. That the Rams would be 2-1, and that their one loss would be after being up 19 on the defending champs in their house, and they blow it. That's how they're coming in today at 4:05 Eastern time at SoFi Stadium. Mikey, let me start with you because the Rams are laying 3.5. I don't know if the books truly respect or think the Colts are as good as they have looked through the first 3 weeks.
Well, in the year 2025, in today's era of NFL football, it's all about the quarterback. So as much as we're going to be talking about or hearing about Daniel Jones and Matthew Stafford, this game is a running back delight. Jonathan Taylor on one side, Kyren Williams on the other. And I love Kyren Williams. I really do. But I trust Matt Stafford and Sean McVay much more than I do the Colts and their offense. So give me the Rams all day on this one. The -3.5. I love it here for LA.
I absolutely do too. By the way, look at Producer Man. If you guys look at the bottom of the screen, we have the live numbers up there for you. We'll leave them there. You've got the game and the drive up there, and then you have the live score up there. Tell me the show's going to do that for you on a 6:30 a.m. Pacific time game. Yeah, I said it. I'll say it again. Now, Raphael, let me come over to you because the Colts have a really good combination. Again, if I would have said this 5 weeks ago, Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor, a 1-2 combo. Daniel Jones just needed to get the hell out of New York City because he looks amazing. Also, he doesn't have sports writers walking into his locker room looking for an angle all the time. I think he loves being the quarterback here. I think they found their guy. He looks like an all-pro through the first 3 weeks, and getting 3.5, I might have to think about that or play into the total because their defense hasn't been spectacular. I will admit that.
This is kind of funny. This is one of those games I love being a numbers guy because in the summer, we opened up this game, the Rams -6.5 because we did not think the Colts were going to do anything. And now it's 3.5. This is why I tell people, yes, I know the quarterbacks get paid all that money and they're the limelight. But when are we going to give the offensive line some love? This is why Danny Dimes looks so well, because he's got protection. He's got a running game. It's not because he's Danny Dimes. It's not because he's Tom Brady. He has an offensive line that protects him, and he can look at his first read, second read, third read. He can do all that. It's all about the offensive line. I think the Colts steal this game. I think they win outright.
You think they went on the field, so plus 155.
Yep,
that's a nice number if you really.
I was
a
money line better because I'm not a money line better. I would probably have to sprinkle the plus 155.
I am a money line better, but normally with the favorite, not with the underdog. But this is going to be. I think this is going to be one of the better games of the day.
This is how close this game is, Coach says, not to cut off your flow.
Oh, yeah.
All week long, tickets written. Last time I checked, 57% tickets written on the Rams, 55% tickets written on the Colts. So it's not like the bettors know or the wise guys like, oh, we love this game. Matthew Stafford's going to crush him. Then why is it so close to being 50-50 on both sides?
Which means the sports books can just take the juice and everybody's happy, right?
Yep.
See, I'm changing lives. I'm changing the business, Mikey. See what I did? I just turned Raphael into one of us and no longer one of them. Did you see what I did there?
I'm not surprised. That's just what you do.
I need a wee jar. Every time I say we, I need to put like $1 in the jar.
You know what? That's a good idea. Aaron Rodgers gets violently sacked violently sacked. Got thrown down pretty hard. He was looking for a personal foul, didn't get it. They get stopped on third down. Steelers lining up for a field goal to go up 17-3 with about a minute 40 to go in the first half there. All right, 2 games left to get to. Then we're going to get the hell out of Dodge. We're all going to enjoy those. A reminder, Mikey P will be live tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time as we break down and in real time, because you'll probably be about halfway through the fourth quarter at that point of your Bears and Raiders game. And it'll be interesting to see how you react in real time to hosting and fandom. It'll be fascinating.
What are you talking about? I leave my fandom at the door. See that door behind me, Coach? Leave my fandom at the door.
Yeah, on the other side of it is the fingernail polish and the onesie and the hats. Yeah, you leave it at the door. That's for damn sure. All right, the game opposite your game today is in Arrowhead Stadium. It is the Baltimore Ravens, who last week, Lamar Jackson, 7 times he was sacked. The Ravens gave up almost 40 again to the Detroit Lions. They come in, offense has been on fire. Their defense has not been good. They're 1-2. Derrick Henry, the only running back in the entire NFL that has fumbled in all 3 games thus far. But on the other side, you've got number 15. You got number 87. Their backs are against the wall. Is their dynasty coming to an end in Kansas City? They have not looked good whatsoever in losing to the Chargers, losing to the Eagles, and barely covering against the New York Giants. So here is the number. Rafi, I'm going to start with you because you love the Ravens -2.5, and you'd like to get a little funky with a first score by the Chiefs to give yourself a 5 or 6 point middle.
Let's face it. If you're looking at Kansas City, if they can't run the ball, if Patrick Mahomes is your leading rusher again, it could be a very, very long evening for the people who are wearing red today. I just think we've been nitpicking the Ravens defense all season long so far. This could be that game that, hey, they shut down Patrick Mahomes. This could be the game they shut down their running game, and they win. And then tomorrow we're going to be like, what happened to Kansas City?
Producer man, write down the time code right now for tomorrow. Because Mikey P, I'm telling you right now. No, I'm not going to say it because then I'm just going to jinx myself. Mikey, let me come over to you because Raphael is teetering on the edge of a lightning bolt. He's teetering on the edge of the cliff that goes over the other side. Are you jumping with him, Mr. Mikey?
Rafi's got so many bullets in his chamber today, from pre-show meetings to on air taking shots at the Chiefs. Rafi, this is not how you get up Kiss Up Mountain, first and foremost. Let me just tell you that. Xavier Worthy is back, and Isaiah Pacheco could finally find some life. The Baltimore Ravens defense could be exactly not what the doctor ordered, but what Andy Reid ordered with a little bit of those chicken nuggets, right? So give me the Kansas City Chiefs in this one. I think it's a high-scoring affair, and the Ravens have lost to Jared Goff and Josh Allen. And even if Patrick Mahomes took 1 step back, he's 5 steps ahead of both of those other quarterbacks. So I like the Chiefs. Oh, he's got 3 rings. The others?
5 steps back over Josh Allen? Oh, maybe 1 step back, but no 5 steps back.
Blocked field goal, boys. Blocked field goal. I was listening to you, Mikey. I promise you. And I was watching Raphael shake his head. All right, Vikings have the ball at the 8-yard line, so they dodge a bullet. And it's still 14-3, minute 40 to go. We'll see how aggressive they get. They are throwing from their own end zone. So they're going to try. They're out past the 20. All right, there you go. So here's the deal. And I understand, Raphael, I tease, but in all seriousness, the Chiefs have come out of the gates, and a lot was made of Travis Kelce and the weight loss and Patrick Mahomes, and can he put this whole group. It feels like when you watch the Chiefs right now, it's such a struggle. They're all trying to climb Kiss Up Mountain. They're all trying to just get that flow. When you have other teams that are just moving around, and you're like, man, why can't the Chiefs do that? Now, their defense has been exceptional, but hasn't been able to get off the field on third down. That's been a real issue. The Eagles, they could have won that game. The Chargers, they gave up a 25-yard run on 3rd and 14 because they couldn't contain. So I asked this question in all seriousness. Mikey, are we seeing the end of this Chiefs dynasty as we have known it the last 6 or 7 years?
I think so, and unfortunately, I think it might just be because of the lack of offensive weapons and the aging of Travis Kelce. I'd like to see, as much as I just praised Isaiah Pacheco finding life, I'd like to give him a lot more credit, but he has not shown up. The defense continues to rise to the occasion, except for third down, like you mentioned, Coach. There are a lot more playmakers on the defensive side of the ball right now for the Kansas City Chiefs than there is on offense, and that is saying something.
It really, really is. On the Ravens side, Raphael, Lamar Jackson is always, well, he's the all-pro. He's the guy. But we now know that him and Josh Allen, only one can win the Super Bowl. They both need a chip to kind of put the cherry on the sundae of their Hall of Fame careers. But they've got more to worry about. Last week, the Lions may have figured out the formula to stopping him because 7 sacks on a guy that fast, that elusive, that is next level kind of mind-blowing kind of stuff. How concerned should Ravens fans be and the Ravens themselves be based off of the game against the Lions?
I think both teams are concerned on who loses this game. I think that's probably the biggest storyline of what happens tomorrow, what happens to the loser of this game. But if you're the Ravens and you're getting taped up and you're stretching right now, what are you doing before as you're watching everything else come into play? You're watching the Steelers game right now, and they are winning right now. They are in your division right now. So why don't you take a wounded bird as Kansas City and take care of business? Now, I had a sharp guy tell me he doesn't want to take the Kansas City Chiefs. He took Pacheco rushing yards and passing yards together, and he also took Travis Kelce over receptions. Because if that happens, if those two cashes, then the Chiefs win. But then he doesn't have to worry about if the Chiefs need to win. Because let's say Baltimore takes the lead, you figure they're going to have to pass the ball. They're going to have to look for that. So he can cash those 2 tickets without Kansas City winning.
I like the receptions by Kelce because, let's be honest, the speed, I think his speed is way down this year. They're throwing a lot of those 4-yard hitches on 3rd and 3. And so he's had, like, I think one game was 2 catches, 16 yards, 2 catches, 46 yards. He's just not having a big yardage year. And that's just football. That's the NFL. Sometimes you fall off a cliff. That's why people don't play until they're 50 years old. So I just think that's what we're experiencing right now. Today, 4:25 Eastern time, Ravens and the Chiefs live from Arrowhead. Now,
really quick, Coach, the Eagles the first 3 just popped up on the Eagles-Washington game. So that's kind of very interesting to see a 3 pop up. I thought maybe sometime today we might see a 2. So I was totally wrong on that one.
Interesting. So it's still hovering around 3.5. Where do you think it'll settle? Because we're at 10:48 live right now, so we still have more than 2 hours before the game.
I think it goes back to 2.5, just like everyone else. That 3 has a plus money on it, so I think they're just trying to get as much action on that game as possible. So bettors look, I can get even money instead of laying the minus 115 on a 2.5. But very interesting to see that move at 10:48 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, it really, really is. Justin Jefferson, guys, by the way, is having a gigantic game. He just fell down. He would have scored a 48-yard touchdown, but he lost his footing. Oh man, he's pissed. He lost his footing, and at about the 14-yard line, or he might have scored. But right now, Jefferson 6 catches for 50. That's got to be before that pass because he's had 2 big catches on that. Right now, it's all about JJ. They're at the 12, 2nd and 12. 24 seconds to go, so they have a chance to go in before halftime. What a turn of events this would be, guys. Instead of 17-3, potentially it could be 14-6 or 14-10. Mikey, how big of a deal is that for live bettors right now?
That's huge. If anyone heard earlier, we were talking about plus 8.5 for Minnesota, and then the block field goal happens. This is what we're seeing in today's NFL. We are seeing the games turn instantly. So for me, this is massive. And to update, Coach, it's 8 receptions, 99 yards for Justin Jefferson in the first half.
Hey, ESPN, ESPN.com. Be better. It happened over 60 seconds ago, and it's not changed on ESPN.com. I got to find a better a better site. I love ESPN, but it was over a minute ago. You don't have it updated? Yes, Raphael, go.
Oh, I was going to say ESPN bet, call us. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah, we'll be happy to use your lines. No issues whatsoever. All right, 3rd down and 12. Let's do it live together. That's good. He's just throwing one out of the end zone. Damn. It was intercepted by the Steelers, but they were about a foot out of bounds. Hey, Carson Wentz, throw it into the stands. Don't throw it a yard out of the end zone to try to throw it away. Let's see. Catching it. Oh, God, that's way too close. All right, it's going to be 4th and 12. They're going to line up for a field goal right before halftime. All right, guys.
Coach, really quick.
Yes.
Hopefully you didn't buy that half a point on a 3. A book just told me most likely it will be 3 because pretty much 4 out of the 8 books I have on my screen right now have 2.5, either -120 or -120.5 on the juice of Baltimore. So they're probably going to move it to 3, especially again if Pittsburgh wins and the Ravens know that their team just their division team just won a game.
It's fascinating that you would use that as something that the Ravens, because I think it's smart. I think it's really, really smart. But even in week 4, those things matter. Divisions matter. Records matter. They understand and they look at all of it. So really, really smart by you, Raphael. All right, the last game tonight. And this is going to be awesome no matter what, because storylines are what drive the NFL. And this summer, multiple times right here on Coaching Company, we talked about Micah Parsons, the gift that keeps on giving. And then Jerry Jones offers him the highest contract ever for a non-quarterback, according to Jerry. And then they trade him, and he gets $48 million per year. And he has come out of the gates flying. However, the Packers last week up 10-0, late 3rd quarter, feeling good. Going to head into this week 3-0. Hey, wait a second. The Cleveland Browns and Jordan Love throws his first interception on like the 15-yard line. They lose 13-10. So they come in not in the shape, Mikey, that we thought they would. Then on the other side, you have the Dallas Cowboys. They lost to your Chicago Bears. 0 points in the second half last week, 31-14. On top of that, they lose CeeDee Lamb, their best wide receiver, for multiple weeks. So now it's just all George Pickens. So here's the number. Packers at 6.5. That seems way too high for me. If it was if CeeDee Lamb was in the lineup, I would think it would be 4 or 5. I don't know that. But Mikey, where do you sit on this number?
Guys, can I play devil's advocate? Because
Sure.
we're all buying into the Micah Parsons and the Packers lost to the Browns and Jerry Jones to gimmick infringement on Rafi. Jerry Jones, you see this? Call me, right? I don't need a contract like Micah Parsons. I can take your back here, Jerry Jones. What about Dak Prescott? What about the guy that Jerry is fully invested in without CeeDee Lamb? What about a guy who's going up against Micah Parsons who said it's going to be so painful when I sack him? What about Dak Prescott playing at home to a team that's blown out his Cowboys? Give me the Cowboys plus 6.5. And I think Dak Prescott makes this game a lot closer than what we're giving the other side credit for.
Jerry Jones was on camera asked about this whole situation. And do you still have confidence in your team? What did he say, Mikey? He said, well, number 4's out there. Number 4's playing quarterback for me. And I'm watching this 85-year-old dude who potentially could be out of touch with our NFL reality sit here and talk about his quarterback, Raphael, right after his quarterback scored 0, threw a interception in the end zone. On 3rd and 1, instead of calling a run play himself, they throw 2 fade patterns to get stopped at the 1. Anything that could have stopped the over from coming in, it did happen. But at the end of the day, it was 0 second half points. Dak was not very good without CD on the field. Am I making too much of that?
I kind of agree with Mikey on Dak, but then I look at the defensive side of Dallas, and that secondary made Caleb Williams put on a gold jacket because you're going to the Hall. That's what that defense looked like to me last week. And don't forget, Green Bay has won 5 straight meetings against Dallas, and every game they scored over 31 points or more. Little shocked that this total opened up at 48.5 and continues to drop. I see a high-scoring game. And I just don't see Dallas's defense putting enough stops on the board. I think Green Bay has another playoff butt whooping they gave Dallas in Jerry's World like we saw last time.
Oh, that horrible language you use on the show all the time, Raphael. That butt whooping they did at the playoffs a couple of years ago. Here's the only thing that scares me a little bit. That the Packers are the best team in the league, in my opinion. That if they get a lead, they don't put the gas pedal down. And when I hear Matt LaFleur talk about, hey, I get frustrated when people talk about what's down the road. We're in a one-game season. This is what our focus is going to be. Well, then be aggressive for the whole game, and what happened against the Browns won't happen. So how much do you think the fact that they were very conservative, Mikey, could help them be aggressive tonight? Because last week with a 10-point lead, everybody said win and cover. They didn't do either one. So sometimes when you're looking in your rear view, that can help bettors like us as we're heading down the highway.
And I do like the over in this game because as much as the Packers can take their foot off the gas, I'd like to see them, like you said, put their foot on the gas. Both these teams are coming in with injuries to their receiving and their passing game, right? Jaden Reed's been out. CeeDee Lamb's going to be out. Who wants to step up? The Packers can still put up 30 points by handing the ball off to Josh Jacobs. Rafi talked about the Dallas secondary. Their defense as a whole is atrocious. So you could put up numbers against this Dallas defense just by running the ball. And I think because the defenses are so bad for at least Dallas, I think Green Bay could carry this number a lot.
All right, we're going to find out. Mikey will be live tonight right before the game. And remember, these are like emergency shows. These aren't full-blown previews, all that. No. We have a lot more fun than that. It is breaking down the biggest games from the day and then getting into Sunday Night Football just a little bit. I think we've lost focus in this crazy world of sports betting of just talking about the games. That is fun, isn't it? That, to me, that's the best part. The numbers are fine, but when you bet 300 days a year, it can be a little mundane sometimes. But damn it, do I love talking about the games. Raphael says no.
Dude. I love the numbers part. I love I'm sorry. I'm totally opposite with you. I love the numbers part.
I know. That's why we're such a good team. Because you see stuff that me and Mikey absolutely could never see, which is absolutely awesome. All right. Once again, because we love this so much, I went 12 minutes over time. But that's okay because the flow was moving. So we're going to we don't even need to lock it in. This is straight guerrilla warfare this morning. We're going to go straight into our best bets. We'll recap the crew's best bets and then do our final takes to get the hell out of Dodge. So, Raphael, start with you. Best bets, go.
We're going Eagles-Bucks over 44.5. I just think we'll see a pass-happy game. And give me Baker Mayfield to have another big game. Then give me the Ravens minus 2.5. Yes, it's the number. Yes, it's probably going to move to 3. Would I bet the 3? Probably not, but 2.5, I'll take it because I just think Kansas City's just spiral going downwards. And then give me Caleb Williams over 225 passing yards for the Chicago Bears at minus 110, and give me 2 pennies added onto that. He made the Cowboys look like, shredded the Cowboys secondary. I think he shreds the Raiders secondary.
All right, very good. Mikey P, talk to me.
I'm going to start with the Falcons minus 2 over the Washington Commanders. Raheem Morris becoming my favorite soundbite across the NFL, saying Kirk Cousins lost his job last year. Michael Penix just had one bad game. All right, Michael Penix, pressure is on. Show us that you just had one bad game. So I like the Falcons minus 2. And then as I stand atop Kiss Up Mountain, no one even coming close. Give me the Chiefs on the money line. Let's go. Patrick Mahomes getting Xavier Worthy back. And then Baker Mayfield over 1.5 passing touchdowns at a plus 120. I know the Eagles don't give up a lot, but Baker Mayfield also doesn't give up on himself. So give me the Buccaneers quarterback to throw over 1.5. And then finally, Jackson darts all over the field. And I'm not talking about his legs. I'm talking about his arm for the New York Giants rookie quarterback. Over 194.5 passing yards at a minus 115. They're going to need him to throw the ball. And let's all talk about it this late afternoon. With me.
Yeah, well, you got to sell the whole thing. Like you just said this afternoon, like where, why, when, what? Those are all things as a host you've got to understand, Mikey. You're stepping into the host chair tonight. You can't just throw it out there open-ended. Now, if you're going to cash with the coach, I love these 3 today. A little synergy with my man Mikey. I love the Chiefs. Give me the 3. And you may not even have to pay the juice, according to Raphael, as they move throughout. Maybe wait until later this afternoon. It's a 4:25 start. Then Cam Scatterbo. This is a 1 o'clock. I love this dude. Last week, he went over 100 in his combo numbers. Over 78.5 is his number this week, minus 110. And when you have a rookie quarterback, who do you go to? Your security blanket, the guy that you have the most trust in, a guy that you can dump it off 5 yards and let him run. Scatterbo is going to be used a lot today. Then, Lions team total, over 27.5. Very key number, under 28. You know Dan Campbell does not like to kick field goals. This is 4 touchdowns is all we need. And the extra point at minus 105. All right, the crew sent in a bunch of best bets today, so you better have your paper, you have your pencil, because I'm going to rip through them very, very quickly. DG, 3 kicker props. Then Soupy, he loves Scatterbo, at least 14 rush attempts. Don't know if I love it, but I never force anybody to make any. I just don't. I think it's a really high number. Marky Model from JTS loves the Chargers, laying the 6.5 on the road. 10 a.m. body clock time. Keep that in mind. And then Drake May hosting. Who are the Patriots hosting today, by the way? Panthers. Panthers at the Patriots. That's right, 219.5. Passing yards against the Panthers, who looked really good last week. Big Chuck loves the Falcons on the money line, loves the Raiders on the money line against the Bears. And then Peyton loves the Rams over the Colts, laying the 3.5. And then Big Tommy C and his fun facts. Lions, he's got guts. He's got guts, pop, as they say in the Italian world. He's laying the 10. And then the 49ers, they get Brock Purdy back today. They have figured out a way to win every game thus far. And in the NFL, that's exactly all that you need. All right, boys, it's time for our final takes. Mikey P, start us off.
I'm ready for another great day of narratives in the NFL. Let's remove bad beats. I'm not even going to go on a whole spiel about it because last week they kind of punched me in the mouth with that. So let's just feed into the narratives. Let's see the Chiefs get back on a roll, and let's see another step towards that gold jacket for Caleb Williams.
Raphael, you are up.
Could we be talking about the Colts tomorrow if they beat the Rams on the road? That's something that I'm going to be keeping my eye out. But let's face it, it's all about Packers, Cowboys, and Ravens, Chiefs. I can't wait to watch those 2 games.
And I'm going to use my final take to give a little bit of insight on the Ryder Cup. Because many of you out there, the first singles match goes off exactly 1 hour from right now. If you're not betting the first 4 or 5 matches, do not bet the Ryder Cup today. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's 11.5 to 4.5. It's been an absolute beatdown. It's been the greatest golf I've ever seen for any team in the history of the Ryder Cup, the President's Cup, and there's a couple of guys that will have pride today for Team Europe because they want, and I have a little birdie on the grounds at Bethpage Black. And I got a call last night. They said, Coach, this European team, if you don't think they're not going to show up tomorrow to win every match, they want to break the record for the biggest margin of victory today. So here's a couple of little hashtag stay on your toes plays, boys. Tommy Fleetwood. This dude is amazing. He's your FedEx Cup champion. Won $10 million. He has made everything he has looked at through the first 2 days. He's minus 150 over Justin Thomas. JT, he's emotional, guys, but he's not playing good golf. Love Fleetwood today. He's playing in the number 2 spot. Remember, they need 3 points. So those first 3 matches, very, very important. Then I love Bryson DeChambeau, but he's laying minus 149 over Matthew Fitzpatrick. Here's the one I really love. Raphael, when was the last time that Rory McIlroy in a head-to-head had plus money next to his name?
Not very often.
Not very often. And Scotty Scheffler, who's at minus 130. Guys, he's the number 1 player in the world. They came into this Ryder Cup, and they're like, he's our guy. He's going to be the face. He's the voice. They're trying to set up this whole team family atmosphere. Does anybody know what Scotty Scheffler is? He's played in every session so far. 4 sessions.
Goose egg.
0 for 4. 2 years ago, Ludwig Oberg beat him 9-7. on Sunday singles. I have a feeling that Scheffler will be 0-5. And if you want Rory today, who yesterday took some of the worst verbal beating I've ever seen a golfer take and still said, hold my beer, and won their match with Shane Lowry. So I like him plus money. Anything past that, stay away, because once guys, it gets over 15 points, the motivation is a little bit less for some of these players. I'll put it that way. You guys ready for today?
So ready.
I only have one other question I got to ask you. Did you enjoy the show? All right, boys, thank you for the time. As always, that's going to do it for now. And remember, even on Sundays in the NFL season, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire company, damn it, do I love them all. My number's guy, Raphael. Mikey P from Sure Dog USA. And producer man, and you see how good the production is, the best in the business. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about every single day right here on Coach and Company. Enjoy the day. We'll see you tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care.